You are listening to the B.I.G Show with your hosts, Calvin and Garland. The B.I.G Show is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from a fan's perspective. Here are your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
It is the big show.
Big up, big up.
Consistency is our name. I'm Calvin. That's my guy Garland over there.
Angry sports guy.
And we're back for another week. Just hanging out. We are live on YouTube right now. You can catch us on all the podcast platforms. And if you have Spotify, you can see our beautiful faces that we just spent 20 minutes adjusting the lighting on and shit. So anyway, how things going, Garland?
Things are good, man. I can't complain, man. It's been great. Great weekend, great beginning of the week. Just trying to make it through, my friend. They said it's fall, but it don't feel like it's fall. It definitely still feels like late summer, not as humid. But what can you do? Global warming.
Some people don't think that's a thing.
It is. It is. Hey, man, and Trump is just doing whatever he want to do. Now, man, you turn on the news, it just be a free for all on Trump, man. I just saw something on ESPN. He talking about he gonna move the World Cup out of Boston because I guess Boston ain't been cooperating with the little ice people, and he talking about he gonna move the World Cup. They like, you can't do that. He's like, I could do whatever I want. I know the president of FIFA. If I tell him to move it, he gonna move it.
And FIFA just as corrupt as he is.
Yeah, so your boy Donald Trump, boy, he's a wild. Hey, but this is what people voted for. So hopefully, black all my black men, it was all like, Kamala the police and Trump, this, that, and the other. I hope you feeling it in your pocket. I hope you feeling it when you go out the door and you trying to go down to DC to hang out and all that other stuff. I hope you feeling it.
Mm-hmm. Hope it helps.
I hope it helps. I hope you in a good space, my friend. But anyway, man, what about yourself?
Just chilling. It actually was pretty slow last week for me. Didn't do much. Getting down off the vacation high, the anniversary vacation high.
Come back to work.
Yeah, back to work, just going through the motions and all. Baby came over and he had to make sure we were straight and had to let us know who was the real boss around.
Right.
We mightn't go away, but he's still holding things down. So
not just chilling, looking, man. Like, where was y'all Saturday? I came to cut the grass. I came to watch TV, to watch my iPad. What's the deal?
Best believe he called us while we was on vacation too. He FaceTimed us, and then one of the questions is always, "Why you not take me? Like, where y'all? Why you not take me?"
We was Aruba not for you.
He's like, "I want to go to the beach. Why you not take me?"
No. No, Gunpowder Falls is your beach.
It really is. He don't care what beach it is. I actually hate Gunpowder Falls. Did I ever tell you?
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel you. It's the local things, man. When we were on pandemic and everybody was working from home, to take a break out of the house, we used to go down to Dundalk to one of the beaches and stuff, Rocky Point.
Okay.
And man, you would have thought we were in Miami Beach, man. We had the little sunbrella out there. We said I had the music. Because we couldn't go nowhere because it's the pandemic. And so, yeah, man, we would be out there like we was down in South Beach. Yeah, the pandemic. Oh, God, that was so long ago. Hey, man, let's go ahead and jump into it, boy. We're going to talk a little bit about some NFL, some other stuff going on around the league. Gonna spend some time on the Ravens. Of course, we're gonna talk Pigskin Pick'em. And guess who's still the cream is still rising, y'all.
We don't even need to talk about that.
Talk a little Pigskin Pick'em.
I don't even know why we playing that bullshit anyway. Ain't nobody even really want to do that shit.
Yeah, wait till he get on top and wait till he get close. His whole energy gonna change. You got a little come on yo as well. But man, let's go ahead and start off with probably the biggest story that happened over the weekend, and that was the firing of James Franklin. Penn State, they fired head coach James Franklin on Sunday after 12 seasons, following a stunning 0-3 start in the Big Ten. Franklin's record in big games played a role in Penn State moving on from the longtime head coach, athletic director Pat Kraft acknowledged on Monday. The Nittany Lions opened the year ranked number 2 in the polls, off an appearance in the college football playoff semifinals last season, but tumbled out of the polls 2 weeks after losing to the then winless UCLA Bruins, which hadn't held a lead all season. And then they went home last Saturday and they lost to Northwestern. Franklin's record at Penn State against AP top 10 ranked opponents was 4-21, including a 1-18 record against top 10 Big Ten teams in conference games. Franklin's 16% winning percentage against AP top 10 teams is tied for the third worst record by a coach. And Penn State has not defeated a Big Ten top 10 opponent since knocking off Ohio State in 2016. Franklin, he's due $49 million in a buyout, which is the second biggest buyout in college football history, behind only Jimbo Fisher's $76 million buyout from Texas A&M a couple years ago. So, Calvin, the message is clear. Just winning games is not enough. Should other coaches be on the watch after we see what just happened with James? Now, although he had an abysmal record against ranked teams, he had over 10 double win seasons. He won a Big Ten title. He had that team in the semifinals of the college football playoffs last year. And it's only what you do that lasts. It's only what you do. It's what have you done for me lately? So what do you think this is a warning to college coaches?
I mean, it's nothing new. These college is a different beast. College is all about big games or rivalry games. If you're the coach of Ohio State or Michigan, you got to beat them. If you're not beating Michigan, if you're not beating Ohio State, they don't really care what your record is. Those are the games you have to win. In Alabama, if you're not winning championships, it doesn't matter how many SEC wins you get. If you're not winning championships, your job is on the line. So college is a different beast, and it also depends on the program. That record that he had, that James Franklin had at Penn State, at Maryland, like we talked about it in our little group. At Maryland, he'd have a statue built in his honor. I mean, it's just going to depend on the program.
Yes, definitely.
The good thing about this for James Franklin is that that's a high level program, Penn State. I mean, ever since the Paterno and of course the Sandusky scandal days, they have been looking to bounce back, and he actually helped them bounce back.
He brought them back.
He was part of that bounce back for him. So the good thing for Franklin is he leaves a legacy. He also is going to be in line for another great job. He's also getting paid. I mean, the only thing that can be hurt for him is his pride, and that big ass check that they got to write him. That'll help his pride a little bit. So I don't know if it's a warning. It's just business as usual in college football. And it may even get a little stronger, with you're recruiting players through NIL money. And also, coaches just have to be on the watch, and they have to do what they need to do to win those, not just get the regular games, but win those big games, the most important games to the fan base.
To me, this is a sad day in college football because you can go out here and win games, and if you don't win the game, you done. I mean, with the NIL money and the TV money and all this, and now you got private equity coming into college football, the pressure to win immediately is high. I mean, you can't come in here and be at a school for 3-4 years and not win big, because if you don't win big, you're putting a lot of money into these programs now. These programs are like professional football teams now, and you're putting a lot of money and resources into it, and that's basically and that's what the athletic director said we're having with Franklin. He's not winning the big games. We want to win the championship, and it doesn't appear that we're going that way. I mean, this is a man that had your team in the semifinals last year. He brought your school program back from all of that scandal. He's recruited well. He's won games, but he did not win the important games. And I think those fair to middling coaches that think, it used to be back in the day, you can go to a school and it take you maybe 3 years, 4 years to build your program up. You better build that thing up in 1 year. If you're not winning after 1 year, you're on the clock.
Yeah, but
Anytime that's up,
no,
go
I
ahead.
was just going to say it's going to depend on the program too. Penn State has high expectations. UCLA
Yeah,
expectations may not be as
but
high.
it's crazy. Penn State, they've been in the Big Ten. I think they've only won maybe two Big Ten championships in the time of being in the Big Ten for over 30 years. And so it's not like this was the 70s when they were at the height of their powers. I mean, this has just been it's been okay. But Calvin, with all this money, and I don't care if you University of Maryland or you Penn State or you Ohio State or you Alabama, you better win soon. You better win quick because you ain't gonna last now. It's too much money in the game.
Yeah, but once you taste that nectar at the top, that nectar juice is good. And when you start looking
Yeah,
around and you start now we got to buy this great value soda. We not winning the big games. Oh no, we
yeah,
can't have that.
yeah. No barks. You better get that great value root beer.
Sometimes your success can be your downfall also.
Sure. Now, more than likely, Franklin gets a job next season, and we were talking
If
about
he
this in the
wants it.
chat line. If he
If he
wants it,
wants another
I'm
one.
gonna tell you right now. If your boy Lockley does not win at Maryland now, he's having a rough time. He's come off a bye. In the last 4 years, he's lost every time that team's come off of a bye. They lost a difficult game on Saturday to Nebraska, a game they should have won. They should have won the Washington game as well.
They absolutely should have won the Washington game.
That Under Armour money ain't gonna be there too much longer.
They
They're
got
gonna want a
Indiana
winner.
coming up
They got
also.
Indiana coming up. They're gonna want a winner. I'm gonna let you know if that job becomes available. I know Franklin was supposed to be the coach in waiting years ago under Ralph Region at Maryland, and when the new AD came in, they didn't honor that. But trust me, Maryland's going to be knocking at that man door, giving him all the money he wants if that job becomes available. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so it depends on if he holds a grudge or not. Like I don't see James Franklin and
Them
Maryland.
greenbacks ain't going to make you hold no
I
grudge.
now I definitely agree with that. Enough
Mhm.
money will make you be like cousin.
Right.
So, I agree with
I've
that, but
always loved this region. I've
uh,
always loved this school.
all things being equal, I just don't see him mending that fence. You know what I mean? That was a big deal when it happened. And I don't think social media was really popping off at that time. But if you were in Maryland, if you were in the state, if you follow college football, that was a huge deal. Like that was
It
a
was a huge
big
deal, and
deal.
he went to Vanderbilt and did very well. As a matter of
Hmm.
fact, I think they played them. I mean, I know when he was coach at Penn State and they played Maryland, he ran the score
Ran the
up a
score
couple
up.
times because of that. And so, hey, but it's a new AD there. Again, we got this money involved now, so the mindset is different.
All things is fair, love and money. He gonna
Yes,
he gonna do a Miles Garrett a few years ago. It's fuck Maryland, and
right.
then the next year is I've always loved
Just
Matter
I've
of fact,
loved the history.
I grew up with a turtle in my house.
Right. I love the history of Maryland, Jerry Claiborne, Frank
Me,
Rudd, all of them.
I
I
just
love them.
called Boomer Esiason the other day.
Right.
Me
Exactly.
and Sean Marion was hanging out not too long ago.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what's going to happen. Now, who would you think are some of the top candidates for this Penn State job?
Any anybody that they think can come from a major program and get them to the glory. I'll tell you what. Now this might be out of the realm.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's time for Dabo to move on, and I
Oh,
can see Dabo
whoa.
going.
Okay.
I
I
can
didn't think
see
about that.
Dabo.
Maga Dabo up there
I was
with the
about to just say I
in
could
MAGA
see
country.
his MAGA ass going to Penn State
Maga
because
Dabo, yeah.
Penn State. I mean, I know Franklin was there, but Penn State gives off that kind of MAGA vibe and always has anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see Dabo going up there if he becomes available.
I
Dabo
got
seems like he's too prideful to get fired or leave
sure.
Clemson, even though he should. I mean, if anybody deserves to be fired right now, it's him.
I gotta wish John Harbaugh
Wait,
I'm,
hold
I,
on,
I'm
hold
going
on, hold on. Are you hold on, because we might be going into another topic here.
No,
Are
no,
you
no.
wishing for Penn State or are you wishing for Baltimore just to make sure we
I'm
get him
wishing
out
for
of here?
Penn State to offer him too much money, make him an offer he can't refuse, like the Godfather. Either that or Bishotti and them fire him. But Pat Kraft, the athletic director up there, open the bank. You want to win? You want to win?
You
Get
ain't
the
even thinking.
get the white James Franklin.
You
Y'all
ain't even
had the
thinking
y'all.
about. You ain't thinking about them winning. You just want to get rid of Harbaugh.
You want to get closer. Get the white James Franklin. Y'all had the black James Franklin. Now y'all can have the white James Franklin from professional football. Maggot John would do all right. But I saw a name on social media. This would be crazy. What you think about Subprime, Coach Prime?
I could see it. I mean, I could see it. Penn State's a high profile job.
He's shown that
Huge
he can
campus.
recruit.
Yeah.
He can get players.
Well, hold on. We're not just gonna skip over that. Did you just say he can recruit? Because I remember when he went to Colorado, somebody said, "Oh, Dion, ain't nobody trying to play for
I
subprime."
never say that.
Yeah,
I never
wow.
say that.
Goodness
I never
gracious.
said that. I said who wants to go to Colorado? I'm talking about Boulder. Who wants to go to Boulder? I never say ain't nobody want to play for Prime.
So you so now, but then you just called him subprime. I thought you was gonna leave him alone.
That's right. He
The
had
man had
surgery.
his toes taken off.
He did have
Carucci
surgery.
had surgery. He got Carucci rubbing his back.
I apologize. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders.
I can see that move though. That's
That
high
would be
profile. That
that's interesting.
it I wouldn't say it puts them on the map because Penn State is always going to be on the map, but it gives them a higher profile and it definitely helps recruiting. And to your point about being in Colorado, it does take you away from those mountains out there and put you on an East Coast. And yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
All right. All right. Let's go ahead and transition. Calvin, if you didn't know this, the Ravens still stink. On Sunday, the Ravens lost their fourth consecutive game, 17-3 to the Los Angeles Rams. This is their fourth straight loss, right? Yeah, this is their fourth.
It is their fourth straight. Yeah,
This is
they've
their
won
fourth
one.
straight loss. It's their third straight loss. That's what I had there. That's their third straight loss at home. So they lost to Detroit, and they lost to the Rams, and they lost to
Detroit, the Rams, and I was at the game. Texans, Houston.
Texans. So this is their third straight loss at home. Their fourth consecutive loss overall. They're going into the bye week this weekend. There's still no game this weekend. They head into the bye week 1-5. But their playoff chances disappearing quickly. There's still a small glimmer of hope because the AFC is still kind of wide open, but those hopes are getting a little bit dicier as we head into the bye week. So let's talk a little bit, man, about what we like to call coaching malpractice. Now, let me set up the scenario. Critical series of plays took place close to the end of the first half. The Ravens were able to get the ball down to the 3-yard line with the potential to go into the half tied with the Rams at 10 and a piece of at 10 apiece, excuse me. The Ravens ran the ball 4 times and were unable to score. That was their only scoring opportunity in the game. After that, there was no other scoring opportunities. I don't think they got even close in the red zone to do anything. Now, a lot of focus has been placed on the performance of the defense, but the offense has struggled just as much. Now, this is the second time that this has happened this season. It also happened against the Browns. Why can't the Ravens score inside of the 5-yard line? Is it poor line play? Is it bad play calling, or is it a combination of both?
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of both, but it is also magnified by the ineffectiveness of the offensive line. Now, I don't care how bad your line is. It's not like the Rams have Aaron Donald on that other side of that ball. It's not like they are a 2000 Ravens or an 80s Bears or Purple People Eater or even a Steel Curtain defense that you cannot get a half a yard, sir, on a tush push, a half a yard. Now, we've had a lot of discussion about it, and I agree the tush push may not have been the best two back-to-back play calls. However, they should have still gotten a half of a yard. I mean, god damn, it's good for. And I heard something on the radio that's actually pretty true. As much as we may not have liked it down there, the Ravens have been pretty successful with their tush push
They
behind
have.
with Mark Andrews. So it's not like it's a play that hasn't worked. It's worked for a yard or two pretty much every time. The offensive line is absolute trash, man. And then when they decided to run the ball with Derrick Henry, they just got blown up. I mean, now
Yeah. I
I
saw
didn't
a play that the
necessarily
tight
like the
end, the guy
call.
that's playing in Ricard's place, he kind of missed the
Mhm.
block. He went the wrong way. He should have went up in the hole. But nonetheless, still, you should be scoring in that. Go
You
ahead. I'm sorry
should
to
be
cut you off.
scoring. No, I was just gonna say the guards got blown up for Lalo, always falling down and
Filet,
not
though.
hitting anybody. I don't the offensive line play is trash. They've got to score. If you're in the red zone, you got to come away with more than 3 points, especially when you got Derrick Henry.
Right.
And we can always talk about them not even fielding Derrick Henry. So that's just a whole
I
nother.
mean, why not even bring Huntley in to give the possibility of
And
Huntley
he,
being a runner as well? And
yeah,
so you run three straight tush pushes. I think they ran three tush pushes, and then
it
they ran the fourth play with Henry.
was it three? I thought it was two tush pushes.
And then okay, maybe it was two tush,
I think it
tush
was two back
pushes.
to back. Yeah, two back
Okay,
to back. And then
two
the
tush pushes, and then okay, and so all right, you didn't get the first tush push. Bring Huntley in and try something different. That he could be a run threat as well. It was just like they were determined to try to run it. And when the two tush pushes didn't work, maybe you should have kind of like, all right, we need to let's switch it up because they know we're trying to run. And to me, that's where the head coaching, where is the head coach in saying, Monken, let's try something different. Let's do a different personnel pack. Let's try something different. But we're not seeing it.
and what all the times the Ravens try to get cute on first down, second down, third down. Once you line up Derrick Henry on fourth down, and you saw that the defense was
Right.
still stacked in the middle, this was the time you could have been cute. You could have literally been cute on that fourth down. You could have ran a naked bootleg. You could have ran the option off the pass. And you could have. They did not respect anything that you were doing. They were like, oh, this is a definite run.
Right.
You could have been cute at that moment. And you called the timeout to come back and not do anything.
Yeah, that's the killer. It's like, okay, you called a timeout and you came out of your timeout with that play. That's what, man. I'm just saying, there's a lot of coaching malpractice going on this season with the Ravens. It's just like they are stuck and they're not reading what's going on. The eye test. They're not real. They're not reacting to what's happening in the game with adjusting and yeah. To me, I used to think, oh, last year they were kind of innovative. Maybe they were not as innovative as we thought. They just that they were able to do a lot of these things and people were not
I'm
able to stop them.
I'm glad you said that. And for everyone, I go back to contract negotiations with Lamar Jackson. For all of you out there with the whole, oh, we don't need him. We could get Huntley.
Right.
If he don't want to be, he don't need that kind of money. The reason why it looks so bad now, because not much has changed. Some of the personnel, not much has changed. The reason why it looks so bad now, because you don't have Lamar Jackson out there to mask all those deficiencies, to make up for those problems, to make up for those busted plays, to get real skinny and get through things like that. You don't have Lamar Jackson out there also now calling audibles. we miss Lamar Jackson more than you could ever imagine. He is a superstar and definite Hall of Famer for a reason. He's
Yeah. I
he
shared that with
matched all of
someone
that.
yesterday. I said that, they was like, yeah, the offense. I was like, well, they're missing the two-time MVP, the best player on the team is not playing. And because they still have all the same personnel. They got none of the wide
Mm-hmm.
receivers are out. You got all three of your
Mm-hmm.
tight ends. You got most of your line. I think Stanley went out on Sunday a little bit, but you got pretty much most of your line intact. You got your running backs,
Mm-hmm.
and ain't nothing working. Ain't nothing working at all. And so, yeah, coaching malpractice. Let's talk about the defense a little bit. This was probably the best game that the defense has played this season. Several starters returned. We had Hamilton, Humphrey, Travis Jones, a couple other players as well. They held Matt Stafford to 181 yards passing and 1 TD. And the Rams' rushing attack was held under 100 yards total. Also, they recovered a fumble and they had 2 sacks. And so, what do you think went right? And Calvin's on the club level, so he has a real good viewpoint of the game. I like to remind people of that.
From
CLC, he's at the games, y'all.
so I'm all 22.
Yeah, he's all 22 position from the end zone suites. But what do you think went right for Orr's squad in this game? What was the difference between this game and the week before?
Well, it absolutely helps to have Kyle Hamilton back. Just like we talked about Lamar Jackson
Mm-hmm.
on the offense, having a Kyle Hamilton back definitely helps. And him having the dot, it definitely helps getting even Marlon Humphrey back. I mean, getting some of these guys back definitely helps. What also helps is getting some sort of pressure on the quarterback. There were Matt Stafford, we know, is an absolute beast of a passer, but he missed Devontae Adams a few times. Short touchdowns that he should have gotten because he was wide open. But having some pressure on there definitely helped. But I also think Zach Orr and the defense just decided, hey, we just can't perform like we did the week before. We're not going to go out because we still have mostly the same personnel. So we're not going to go out here and be lights out, but we have to maintain and hold on. And they absolutely did. And it started with them holding on to that run. The defense gave the Baltimore Ravens the opportunity,
Yes.
especially in the first half, to not only take the lead, but to win the game. They gave them every opportunity that they could give to win the game.
I agree. I think this performance saved his job at least for the next couple weeks. We haven't seen any changes in the bye week and everything. They actually really had a chance to. You never know if they score that touchdown and they go into the half tide. It's a whole different ball game.
Whole different ball game.
Basically, Rams came out, they scored, and that was it. There was no more scoring in the game, and so maybe they play differently. Maybe things happen, and so yeah, I think that they showed up. You get your players back. They think that Roquan is going to be back coming out of the bye week. That'll be a plus. I know he hasn't had the greatest season at this point, but we need him back in the middle.
That's exactly. He's another one that's going to mask some deficiencies there.
Yeah. So hopefully some of these things will start coming together. Now let's talk about the offense. Todd Monken, he remembered, Calvin, that Derrick Henry played running back for his team. Henry carried the ball 22 times for 122 yards, but Cooper Rush was horrible. He went 11 for 19 for 72 yards, and he threw his 4th interception in 2 games. 4 interceptions in 2 games. In addition, he lost a fumble before he gave way to Snoop Huntley, who was no better than Rush. He went 10 for 15 for 68 yards, but he rushed for 39 yards. And so if Lamar is not ready after the bye, they believe that Lamar is going to be ready coming out of the bye. But let's say that he's not. Should they start Huntley or should they start Rush?
So I heard something on the radio and I agree with it. Cooper Rush, it's been real, but it's time for you to go back home to your family. You know how I feel about Huntley. Yeah. And even I'm over here like, they need to start Huntley. They need to start a guy that can actually move around in the pocket and possibly make some plays. The problem with Cooper Rush is that not only is he not moving, and we didn't expect him to be mobile inside the pocket, but he's not passing accurately. He's not hitting guys. He's missing bad. Of course, we talked about the interceptions. I mean, you just can't can't give me the double whammy. If you're not gonna run, you got to at least be able to pass, and Cooper Rush can't do either one. So at
Yeah.
this point, you have to start Huntley if Lamar's not coming back after the bye.
Yeah, he's been terrible. And I think even if he was a little bit good or halfway there, they could be a little bit closer in some of these games. Because, like we said, you have all of your weapons there on offense,
Mm-hmm.
but the main weapon, of course, Lamar's not there. But if you had a guy, I guess it's kind of like what's happening in Cincinnati with Jake Browning. If Jake Browning played like he played when the quarterback got hurt, not
Burrow.
last year, but the year Burrow
Year
got hurt
before,
the year before that, and he played pretty well down the stretch, although they didn't make the playoffs. They had enough faith to think, okay, we can bring him back and put him back in just in case because he performed that well. If he performs up to what he did a season or two ago, those guys would really be in the race for the AFC North title. But because he couldn't perform, they had to go out and get Flacco.
Joe
And
Flacco wins that Baltimore game against the Rams.
you think
That
so?
game, Sunday, absolutely. Joe Flacco wins that game. He wins that game. Just
Wow.
the defense played well enough
Mm-hmm.
for just a proficient quarterback to win that game. All you had to do was be average. Joe Flacco wins that game. And let me say this, because we've been, as hard as we've been on Harbaugh, I think we've been giving Todd Monken a pass lately.
I would
However,
agree.
I will say that the game plan they had in this Rams game was absolutely a great game plan, especially in the first half. We're going to run the ball down
Right.
your motherfucking throats.
They
And
ran it.
it worked. If it wasn't for those penalties, they were getting these red zone penalties. If it wasn't for those penalties and the inefficiency of Cooper Rush, they scored. They went. I'm
Yeah.
just.
They ran the ball well. You can
They
play
ran the
action
ball
pass
well.
off of that. They should have really,
Yes.
yeah, they blew a good
The
opportunity.
game plan was
Excuse me.
a great game plan. The execution, on the other hand, by the quarterback, and again the offensive line, it just so much to be desired. Too many mistakes to win that game, but they should have won that game, or they
All right.
could have won that game.
Grand opening, grand closing. The Baltimore Ravens released safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson a week after signing him to their practice squad. It's been reported that the Ravens and the veteran defensive back came to an amicable mutual decision. Gardner-Johnson was added to the Ravens practice squad on October the 7th, but the Ravens then acquired Alohi Gilman later that day in a trade with the Los Angeles Chargers. The Ravens started Gilman in the loss to the Rams. After the Ravens traded for a safety, we were looking for a clear path to play, Johnson's agent told Adam Schefter of ESPN. It's the second time this season Gardner-Johnson has been released. The Houston Texans released him late last month, just after 3 games. In your opinion, Calvin, how realistic are the Ravens' playoff chances? I mean, 1-5. The schedule, we talked about this last week, allegedly is supposed to be getting soft. The Bears look real good on Monday night.
We're the soft team.
We're the soft team now.
We're the soft team.
Allegedly, the schedule's getting soft, but the Bears look good, and they do something that the Ravens can't stop. That's run the ball. And I don't know if Lamar is coming back. I don't know if Roquan makes enough of a difference coming back on defense. And so, well, how realistic do you think we could run the table? The Ravens could run the table and make the playoffs because they're gonna have to run the table.
Yeah, well, running the table is we're talking 11 games. The path for the Ravens is the AFC North. We're 1-0 in the North, and although the Steelers they're 2-0 in the North, but
Yes.
they have a 5-1 record, I believe 4-1 or 5-1.
5-1.
They still have to see us twice. I think the Steelers are doing what we would want the Ravens to do, which is win the games you're supposed to win and steal a couple games that you're probably not supposed to win. Um, but now it all predicates on Lamar Jackson coming back. If Lamar Jackson doesn't come back after the bye, we might as well just start looking in the draft, and or we might as well start being sellers. I keep
That was
hearing
gonna be
this.
my next
Who are the
question.
Who are the Ravens going to get in the bye week to make them a little stronger? And I'm sitting here like, we're 1-5. When you're 1-5, you're not necessarily buyers. You're
Right.
usually sellers at that point. But with Lamar, if Lamar Jackson comes back, I think they have a decent chance to make the playoffs, but that path will be through the AFC North. Now, I don't know if I don't think they'll run an 11 game table, but I think they can run the table in the AFC North. You got one more game against the Browns. You should beat Cincinnati twice. Pittsburgh is going to be that wild card, but but you play them a little later in the season. And although Aaron Rodgers is another surefire Hall of Famer, I do believe he'll have a little more wear and tear on him coming towards the end of the season. And depending on what their record is, they may dial it down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you just never know if they know they're going to make the playoffs and don't want to risk them. That game before I believe they play them either before or after the Packers game. That game may be critical for us, but it may not be for them. So the path, I think they have a decent chance. To answer your question, I think they have a decent chance to make it, but it's all dependent on Lamar Jackson coming
Let's put
back
a
after the
percentage on it. You think 40%, 50%, 60%?
bye. Ooh. AFC North, you do get Miami, you do get New England. New England's not a cupcake. You do get the Jets. I'll give them about a 55% chance, a little
Okay.
better than half.
Okay. 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 Yeah, I agree with you. If Lamar does not come back out of the bye, I mean, if they have to go one or two more games without Lamar, then they become sellers at the trade
Yeah, that's gonna be
deadline.
tough.
That's going
Yeah.
to be tough to do it because I have no faith in Rush or Huntley to lead this squad to win games because they're going to have to score, and I don't think they have the ability to do that. And so it's really going to be dependent on what happens with Lamar. Um, Now, say that they are sellers at the trade deadline. Who would you trade?
So you have to trade Mark Andrews at that point, because he's coming into free agency. Not sure what you would get for him, but you have to trade Mark Andrews. They've already traded Oway because he would be next on
Mhm.
my list.
What you
Wow.
think about Ronnie Stanley? Although he's been nicked up, I think he's in the last year of a deal.
Yeah, but the problem with trading I thought Ronnie
Mhm.
Stanley signed an extension last year
Yeah, it
before.
was like maybe just a year or two. It was not a
Okay.
long term.
The only issue with trading Ronnie Stanley is we see what happens when he's not in there to protect. Like it's not, it's not working too well. I think you have to hold on to that left tackle. So we're talking in season trading. You have to hold on to that left tackle. Only person I can definitely see would be Mark Andrews. You well, most likely, a guy like DeAndre Hopkins would be trade bait because he is only on the 1 year deal and he clearly has good hands. Who, by the way, they just do not throw the ball to him enough. I don't know how many. He was in the starting lineup. I just keep yelling, throw him every time they throw him the ball. He had a drop
Mhm.
this last week, but the ball was literally he almost snagged it in, and it should have been a defensive PI, but it wasn't. I just don't know why I'm throwing the ball, but I see him being on the possibly the trading box. I don't know what you'd get for him, but the Ravens like to stack up late picks,
Sure.
so they would definitely entertain anything like that if it definitely looks like they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, Stanley signed a 3 year deal in March, but I mean, I think it's a deal that probably teams would love to have, and you get some
Okay.
years with them and all. And if you get a nice high draft pick, I mean, the second round or third round, he
I
probably
would
would go
trade
for that.
Bateman, but I don't think you would get anything for Rashad Bateman.
Oh wow, okay, all right.
I would trade. I mean,
Don't debate like that.
he's another team friendly deal. Although
Mhm.
last year was a breakout season for him, and you don't expect him to catch too many passes under Cooper Rush or Tyler Huntley. He needs
Exactly,
Lamar Jackson back there.
exactly. All right, let's move on. In other NFL news, Brian Callahan was fired. The Titans became the first team to fire their head coach during the season on Monday. They moved on from Brian Callahan, who went 4-19 over the past two seasons in Tennessee. Former Chargers, no, he wasn't former Chargers. Yeah, he was former Chargers head coach Mike McCoy will serve as interim head coach, and so they're moving on. They got a Cam Woods kind of had a little rough go of it. They had let go the GM kind of like the year before, brought in a new GM. They're building the stadium. They got a lot going on out there in Tennessee, but Brian Callahan is out in Tennessee. All right, man. Let's get to where everybody tunes into the show.
Let me make a comment on the Brian Callahan firing.
Go ahead.
To take a page out of my guy Brian Billick's book. You never like to see coaches get fired. You always want to respect your opponents and all. So I need all the cameras off right now. All the cameras off. All the cameras off. Fuck the Titans.
Turned off the camera.
It is forever fuck the Titans. I don't care. Fuck Eddie George. Fuck Steve McNair as a Titan, not as a Raven.
Don't do Eddie George like that. He's doing a great job at Morehead State now.
I hold grudges. They not paying me enough money to not hold grudges. Fuck Derrick Henry when he was a Titan, not now. Oh, fuck, who was the quarterback with Derrick Henry? The white boy, Tannehill. Fuck Ryan Tannehill. I could not.
Derek Mason too.
Fuck Derek Mason when he was was he an Oiler or a Titan?
He was a Titan.
When he was a Titan.
He was a Titan.
Fuck, what's his name? Was it Jeff George? Was that his fucking name?
No,
Jeff, their coach. Well, fuck him. And plus he had a big ass mustache and an overbite.
Yeah.
Who else? They had did Kevin Dyson do the
Kevin Dyson was there. That was the Miracle, the Music City
exactly.
Miracle.
Fuck the Music City Miracle.
Samari Rolle too.
Dyson.
What about Samari Rolle? He played in Baltimore
when he was a
too.
Titan, not when he was. You know what? It looks like the Titans
get a lot of Titans.
A pathway to the Ravens.
We get a lot of Titans.
Cam Ward might be our quarterback when Lamar Jackson leaves.
You never know. All right, man. Let's get to Pigskin Pick'em, y'all. And I tell y'all. Oh boy,
let's just go into this week's games, please. Who we got on Thursday night?
I'm on a roll, y'all. I'm letting y'all know right now. Another 3-game winner this week for myself. I picked the Steelers over the Browns, Seahawks over the Jaguars, and the Raiders over the Titans. And of course, Calvin took the other teams, but he did get a good win on Monday. I might have got a sweep. It came down to a last-second field goal by the Bears. They beat the Commanders on Monday night, but I had picked the Commanders to win that game. And if they don't fumble and let them drive down and win the fight, I might have swept them this week. But, that's what Garland the Greek does. And so let's go ahead and get into the games this week. Maybe right now I have a 16-12 lead over Calvin in terms of.
You could have just said 4 games. You ain't had to go 16.
I'm sorry, a 4-game lead. I'm up 4 right now.
I don't even like how that sounds anyway. Let's just get to the game. Who's the first?
Calvin's 4 games back right now with several weeks.
That sounds even worse. The Orioles were 4 games back, and they finished the season in last place in the AL East.
All right, Thursday night game, AFC North matchup. Steelers, they head out to Cincinnati to take on the Joe Flacco-led Bengals.
Yeah, man. I got to admit, the Steelers are making a believer out of me. I'm going with Pittsburgh.
All right.
I'm going with Pittsburgh.
You know what? I'm gonna take an upset special on this. I'm gonna take the Bengals at home.
Ooh,
they are with the Flaccos. This is a home game for the Bengals. Flacco, he looked fairly decent. I think he's probably working down that time, and he looked great with 2 great receivers and great tight end. I'm not sure. I really have not seen the Steelers play this season. I'm not sure what their defense looks like. I know that Jalen Ramsey's playing well, and so we'll see what happens. Sunday, let's go ahead with the Sunday slate of games. The Rams, they go down to Duval to face the Jaguars. Jaguars, they had a little Monday night hangover. As a matter of fact, they don't go to Duval for this game. This game's over in London.
Yeah, fuck the Baltimore Orioles for letting the Rams after they beat the Ravens practice at Camden Yards. So fuck you Orioles, fuck y'all. I'm
So,
actually,
so who's that be you take?
it's it's a home game for the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Puka is hurt. Puka Nicole may not
Yes.
play. And I don't think he is actually. If you saw that injury, it looked like it was
I saw
pretty.
like the ankle or something like that. Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It didn't look good.
they had to they walked him off. He
Mhm.
was got up on his own power, but they walked him off. I'm gonna go with the Jags.
All right, all right. Here's our second one that we're going to be different on. I'm going to take the Rams. I like the Rams coming off a good win in Baltimore. I think they should be ready. Saints, they travel up to Chicago to face the Bears.
I'm taking Chicago.
Taking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears as well. Let's see. Dolphins, they head up to Cleveland to take on the Browns.
Dolphins are a shit show.
They are.
I'm giving the Browns their second win.
What? All right, I'm going to take the Dolphins, although they are a
What?
poop show. Lil Man, I don't think Lil Man at quarterback, the little QB can do it. I think we're going to see Shador Sanders in this game
Okay,
at
a
some point.
Shador
I
sighting.
think we're going to have a Shador sighting on the
Baby
field.
prime, baby prime.
Baby subprime. All right, Patriots, they head to
All right.
Tennessee. This is the Mike Vrabel return to Tennessee smash 'em game against the Titans.
Yeah, I think he's going to punish him, even though it's going to be in Tennessee. Of course, that's going to be the game that Tennessee wins, but I'm taking the Patriots.
All right. Raiders, they head out to KC.
You taking Patriots?
I'm taking the Patriots as well. I apologize. Raiders, they head out to KC to take on the Chefs. Stop playing.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
Eagles, this is going to be a good game. Eagles, they head up to Minnesota to take on the Vikings.
Is it going to be a good game? Because the Eagles have been
Yeah,
struggling.
the Eagles
lately.
need to get their mojo back. 2 straight losses. Vikings
Yeah.
coming off a bye week.
Vikings coming off a bye. That was the big thing for me.
Mhm.
Defending champions can't drop 3 in a row. Ooh. I'm going to take the Eagles. Everything in me says take Minnesota, but I'm going to take the Eagles.
Well, whatever was in me said take the Vikings, and I listened. So I'm going to take the Vikings on this one. Pause. Whatever was in me. Pause. All right. The Panthers have figured out how to win. Give the ball to the running back Rico, and he let him do his thing. So Rico Dow, and so they are in New York to take on the Jets with Jersey.
I'm taking the Panthers.
Taking the Panthers as well. It's got to be crazy when you're taking the Panthers. But the Jets, they have not won a game. I don't know if they're going to win a game this year. The Giants with the boot. The running back Cam Skidabop-a-doo-ba-doo-ba-dow. They go up to Denver to face the Broncos. Man, I know all the white guys in Jersey. They got Jackson Dart. They got Skip the Boop-a-dop. They probably are going crazy.
Fucking go! I can't wait.
Yeah, come on, Cam.
I can't wait until the conservatives and Trump start putting their support behind the Giants. I'm taking the Broncos.
I'm taking the Broncos as well. The Colts, man, they keep on winning. They lead in the AFC right now. They got the number 1 seed. The playoffs started today. They head out to LA to face the Chargers. This to be their second time playing in LA because they played the Rams earlier this season, but they lost that game.
Yeah, man. The Colts are like you said. If it ended today, if the playoffs started today, they'd be number 1. But the playoffs don't start today. I'm taking the Chargers.
All right, bold man. I'm taking the Colts. Take my childhood team. I'm gonna take the Colts.
Ooh, look like it's only gonna take me 1 week to catch up. We already 5 hours. Just take me 1 week.
I ain't worried about it. DC, they heading down. The Commanders heading down to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.
Yeah, man. Now this will probably be a sneaky good game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm
Gonna
gonna
be some
take the
scoring.
I'm taking the Dakotas. Give me
Taking
Dak and the boys.
that. What? We're gonna be split on a lot of games. You maybe you could catch up this week. I'm gonna take the Commanders.
What?
Yes, Packers. They head out to Arizona to take on Lil Man. They having a rough time out there. Although they played good this past week in Indianapolis, Lil Man was out. They
I don't
actually
think they're
had to
gonna play
back
this
up
week either.
Brissett play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who you taking?
Oh, Packers.
Packers. You say you don't care about
Yeah.
that. I'm taking the Packers as well. Falcons, big win on Monday night over the Bills. They head out to Santa Clara to take on the Niners.
Whew, man, do you see Bijan play?
Yeah,
Between
he's great.
Bijan, Drake London, you throw a little Kyle Pitts in there, but I don't know if Penix is the guy. Is Brock Purdy coming back? But even if he doesn't, Mac Jones is playing well. I'm taking
Yeah.
the 49ers.
All right, this is another split game. I'm taking the Falcons on this one on the road. I think they're legit.
I think they're a good team. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're a good team. Two Monday night games. The Bucks they head up to the D. What up though? To face the Lions. Lions coming off a tough loss on Sunday night.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield is a sneaky MVP candidate. I think I said that last
Definitely.
year, but I don't think Ibuka is playing. I think I don't know if Mike Evans is coming
Don't
back.
make a difference who's playing. He's passing to everybody.
He really is. He
Yeah,
really is.
yeah. Baker's
But
having a great season.
I'm gonna take Detroit in Detroit.
All right, I'm taking the Lions as well. And to close out the Monday night tilt, you got the Texans going out to Seattle to take on the Seahawks.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
I'm taking the Seahawks as well. All right, so let's run through these games real quick. Tomorrow night, we split on that game. Calvin's taking the Steelers. I'm taking the Bengals. We split on the London game. Calvin's taking the Jags. I'm taking the Rams. We're both taking the Bears over the Saints. We split on Dolphin Browns. Calvin's taking the Browns. I'm taking the Dolphins. We both take the Patriots over the Titans, the Chiefs over the Raiders. We split on Eagles, Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings. Calvin's taking the Eagles. We're both taking Panthers over Jets, Broncos over Giants. We split on Colts, Chargers. Calvin's taking the Chargers. I'm taking the Colts. We split on Commanders, Cowboys. Calvin's taking the Cowboys. I'm taking the Commanders. We both take the Packers over the Cardinals. We split on Falcons, Niners. Calvin's taking Niners. I'm taking Falcons. We both take Lions over Bucks. And we both take Seattle over Houston. All right, so there it is right now. I have a 4-game lead, and we see what happened next week.
Coming back, y'all.
All right, man. We take part that everybody loves in the show. Come on, yo. I know I started off last week, but I can start off again if you want me to.
Okay.
All right. Hey, man, it's not really a bad thing. I actually wanted to kind of give a shout out, a memorial to the passing of D'Angelo. Um, on Tuesday, D'Angelo, the legendary R&B singer who helped pioneer the genre of music known as neo soul, died of battle with pancreatic cancer at the age of 51. I've been a fan of D'Angelo since his first single, Brown Sugar, which was cleverly written song about either a fine woman or a well-rolled blunt. Take your pick. And so I thought that the first album of the same name was good, but who knew that he would be the artist who would bring back black soul music to his organic foundation with the release of Voodoo. That album's video for the song Untitled, How Does It Feel? It set panties on fire across the world and made him a sex superstar, which he fought and avoided. If I had to compare D'Angelo's impact to another artist, it probably would be Stevie Wonder. In many aspects, he was the Stevie for the millennial generation. Not my generation, because I had Stevie, but for the generation after me, I think D'Angelo probably has that crown. So rest in power, D'Angelo. I would rank his albums. He only released 3. Voodoo would be number 1. Brown Sugar would be number 2, And number 3 would be Black Messiah. If I was to identify some favorite songs, of course, Brown Sugar, Lady, Shit, Damn, Motherfucker, The Line, Send It On, The Root, Spanish Joint, Ain't That Easy, Really Love, Prayer. He had a lot of great songs, made a lot of great music. Um, when I was looking up some information about pancreatic cancer, there's only maybe a 5% to 10% chance of surviving pancreatic cancer because most times it's not diagnosed until late. And so this is not something that maybe they caught early and he was trying to fight. As a matter of fact, he was supposed to perform at the Roots Picnic over the summer, but had to back out at the last moment. And now we see why, because he was battling cancer. And so this was probably something that was detected late. And then once it's detected, it's very hard to beat. And so, yes, of course, please, keep up with your screenings, your tests, get your all your blood work done and all those things, man. You need to get the colonoscopy, all those things, because we have to just make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. And so rest in power, D'Angelo.
Yeah, man. And of course, we know that he had a child with Angie Stone who died earlier this year.
Right.
So we have you definitely want to lift the family of that young man up. He had losing
One of
two
hip
parents.
hop's first recording artists with the group Sing Sequence. Gonna
Yeah,
funk you right on up.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, Someone lost two parents in the span of less than a year. So definitely want to keep them lifted. Also for me, one of my favorite songs, and fun fact, one of the songs that me and my wife bonded on just one day in the car listening when we were dating. D'Angelo's version of Cruising, the remake of
Okay, yeah,
Cruising,
yeah, that was on Brown Sugar. Mhm.
which is probably one of the best remakes. Garland and I did a music battle where we had
Right.
remakes
Uh-huh.
that are better than the original, and Cruising was my number one on that. Much better than
Right.
the original, in my opinion. So, yeah, rest in power, young man, and definitely keep the family in prayers.
Definitely.
My come on, yo, is focused on you Ravens fans and then football fans in general. Let me say sports fans in general.
Mhm.
Now, I can get past the Ravens are losing things, so you don't want to show up to the games, and I can get past the Ravens are losing thing, so it's everybody's fault. Fire this one, trade away this one.
Mhm.
Everybody's a critic. But what I don't understand is why you all get so mad at Kyle Van Noy and Marlon Humphrey, just to name two, because they have a podcast. They have a life
Right.
outside of football. When they leave their job, they can go and do other things. And if
Right.
they want to laugh and smile while they're doing it, they supposed to be sad the whole time.
Right.
Come on, yo. When
Stop it.
you miss the address of your Amazon package, I don't see you taking your time off and circling the block just to make sure you get to the right address. I don't see you doing that. So why do you expect them to have to think about being a football player every second of the day? They need a break too. And why don't you listen to the podcast? It's all good when they win it. They can get on the
Right.
podcast and say anything they want. Y'all like, oh yeah, this so funny. Did you watch sharing the clip? Did you watch what Marlon said? Ha 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 ha. Oh, he's such a cornball. But as soon as they start losing, well, fuck, he always on the podcast. He don't
Right.
study his craft enough. He don't do this and that enough. I don't see when you bending them garbage cans over and throwing them in the wrong house. I don't see you going back and saying I'm sorry to the person that got to walk 3 houses down to get their can. I don't
Right.
see you doing that. So why do you expect them to do things like that? Come on, yo.
I
Y'all,
agree.
sometimes y'all take it. Sometimes y'all take it a little too far. We're in a new day and age. Back them Colts back then. You know what? I know what it is. Y'all so used to watching that Rocky mentality. When he get his ass beat by Clubber Lane, now he got to go to the mountains and start training so he could come back and be the champion.
Right.
When he watch his friend get beat down by Draco, all he doing is concentrating. That's all he can do. If he dies, he died. That's all y'all think about is we got to get some revenge now. This ain't that time no more. This ain't the Eye of the Tiger, sir. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's a whole different time. If these guys want to get on podcasts and get a release, even if they want to talk about the game, if they don't want to talk about the game, it's their right to do that. Yes, they're football players as an occupation, but they're humans forever. Stop it, y'all. Come on, y'all. Stop being old. Stop being old people, y'all. Come on.
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if they were winning, it would be all good.
It's all good when they winning.
It's all good when they winning.
They could be in the club. They do that to Brandon all the time. They do that to Brandon all the time. The crime in Baltimore is out of control.
He's talking about the mayor, y'all. I mean, I know he does know the Brandon by his first name, but he's talking about the mayor, Brandon Scott. Go ahead. I just want to make people know. We know you know the man. You didn't have to name drop it like that. Go ahead.
I didn't mean it like that. But what they say about crime is out of control. Why is the mayor smiling at a high school football game?
Why he had Jazzy Summer Night
DJing?
Smiling? Yeah, why is he DJing at the little concert? He should be out here fighting crime.
He should be fighting. So what is he, an Avenger now? he Captain America? He's supposed to just be waiting on the corner for something to go down? Come on, y'all.
Why Westmore out here smiling at the concert with his and whatnot? Chasing the rest of these people.
Well, the only reason West can smile at Jazzy Summer Nights is because we can get public transportation down to there. Because if you try to drive a car down that motherfucker, you need $700 just to get in that motherfucker.
Don't do it.
Listen, Wes. Come on, yo. Right. These damn fees on this MVA. Come on, Wes. Right. You know what? I'm gonna save that one.
He out here grinning. And these fees is high. Why are you out here grinning?
You grinning, and I got to choose between my Hyundai,
right,
and eating because I can't do both. And then you're gonna send me a letter tell me I need an admissions test, and it's more than $15. I ain't even late yet.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, we put these unfair, expectations on these people, and yeah, they gotta have a life too.
They gotta have a life, man.
You know, that's like thinking your teacher lives at school all the time.
Exactly.
They don't live. He doesn't live at City Hall.
And if they didn't have a life, we'd be having another conversation about the things that they're doing in public.
Right.
That's probably not worthy of a human being.
Certainly.
So come on, stop that, y'all. Anyway, man, another good podcast.
Yes, sir.
We're live on YouTube right now, and if you have on all the podcast platforms, if you're on Spotify, you get to see our live Come On Yo's. You just watch that. So thank you all for joining us again, and I guess we'll be back next week.
Yes, we will.
You ain't got no D'Angelo. You want to play out with us?
We can't play out because they're gonna cut it right out the podcast. So.
Oh yeah.
We don't have permission.
Let me just hit the outro. I mean, I could sing
unless Jay's Landscaping wants to sponsor us and pay some of our fees.
Jay, we still waiting.
You are listening to the B.I.G. Show with your hosts Calvin and Garland.
Hey Jay, come on.
The B.I.G. Show is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from the fans' perspective.
Come on, Jay.
Here are your hosts,
the next one,
Calvin and Garland.
We need some sponsorship money.
That sound like the intro. What's that? That wasn't the outro. That was the intro.
Oh, that wasn't the outro. Let's try it.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying, Jay? We can't even afford
You have been listening to the B.I.G. Show.
Boy, Jay.
This show was produced and written by Calvin Coates and Garland Thomas for All Things Black Productions.
Right.
Follow us on all of your podcast media platforms.
Right, Jay. Come on. We got to pay for some songs.
I can't believe I hit the intro. We start.